Hi, lovely friends. Let's continue our vocabulary learning journey with the late Chritopher Hitchens. The words that I'll share will also be in the description with more example sentences for you to read. I hope you enjoy this lesson too.
Verdi could write a very good Requiem without actually being a believer, but I don't think that John Donne could have written his sacred poetry not thinking, I don't really believe any of this. I mean,
let's talk about the word requiem. He could write a very good requiem. A requiem is a piece of music written to be performed at a Catholic service or a mass. Pay attention to the pronunciation there, requiem with stress on the first part.
It's quite clear that there's an instinct in all of us for the numinous.
There is an instinct in all of us for the numinous. Numinous is our second word of the day. Having a strong spiritual or religious quality. Essentially, Chritopher Hitchens is saying that there is an inborn desire in all of us that looks for something more meaningful.
And the transcendent, you might say. I think you can have it without the supernatural.
Transcendent. Something that is transcendent goes beyond, in this case, our superficial way of living.
In fact, I think you have to. Well, again, I couldn't agree more with, if I may call you one in.
Well,
that's what secular means. But in that case, I think it behooves the religious to say what they genuinely mean. Now,
it behooves you to do something. It means it's your moral responsibility. It behooves the religious to say what they genuinely, what they actually mean. It's their responsibility.
Frank just talked about homosexuality as if the church had never condemned it as a mortal sin.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, yes. It's extraordinary. I would not know that you remember the Society of Jesus, except that it was a very Jesuitical point you were making.
Jesuitical. So this word has two different meanings, and Chritopher Hitchens is being very clever there. So one is related to the Society of Jesus Christ, and the second one is characterized by deceit.
And conceal your main one. And I'm sorry, well, it is the same. Islam says the same. You cannot be a good Muslim and publicly be a homosexual. Why don't you, given the wonderful freedom of a secular conversation where no one's going to say anything about your right to say it, why don't you say what you actually think? How about that?
Okay, yes, Anne, and then I'd like to hear from Frank.
Can I just say that what I find interesting about your book, Chritopher, is that everyone's the same, and yet we're all violently different. And if you are a cultural Catholic, as I am, I don't listen to what the Pope says every day and take my guide from him. My mother, who's 84, says she had a Vatican bypass 30 years ago. You know, it isn't like you see. Maybe because you're not a believer, you don't understand that.
Sounds like progress of a kind.
No, but she converted from a completely non-believing family when she was about 20. But the thing is that religion is so manifestly pluralist as well.
The next word is manifestly. It means clearly, evidently. Religion is so manifestly pluralist.
Well, I mean, there's so many different ways in which people see God. And even within the Catholic Church, there's violently different ways in which people practice their faith.
Did you say
and
violently?
the idea...
Chritopher quips there. He makes an amusing remark. He says, "Did you say violently?" Anyways, I hope you've learned a couple words from this video lesson. Catch you in